Sunday, March 11th, we reported these troubling facts. In Erie County, 1 in 4 children live in poverty. The problem is even worse in the city of Erie, where 40% of children are in poverty. Despite years of work and millions of dollars spent on anti-poverty initiatives, there has not been any discernible trend in census data to show that conditions are improving. In other words, the needle has not moved.
Erie County houses the zip code with the lowest median household income in the whole U.S. The median income for someone who lives in the zip code 16501 is only $10,873 a year. The poorest zip codes 16501, 16503, and 16507 are all located in the city of Erie, while the wealthiest zip codes 16442 and 16421 are located outside the city. The median income for the wealthiest zip code is over 6 times as much money as the poorest zip code. Over half of the stores in the poor urban areas are non-chain stores.
Shanita gets paid on Mondays, and after depositing her check $269.88 this week, she immediately takes out $100 to pay back money she owes from the week before. She's then off to the grocery store. Food takes up the biggest chunk of her budget. On this trip, she spent $53.57. Both Kyra and Shanita's older daughter, 9-year-old Kayla, get breakfast and lunch at school, which fills a big gap for Shanita.
They get 3 meals a day, and only how my children get 3 meals a day is because their school provides 2 meals out of those 3 meals. If I was to survive off of 3 meals a day for my children, we wouldn't make it. We would be homeless, we would be starving, one of the other.
As you can see, people who live in poor urban areas of Erie County can be paying a lot more for everyday items compared to people who live in high-income neighborhoods. While the U.S. only makes up 5% of the entire world's population, 25% of incarcerated people reside in the U.S. Mass incarceration disproportionately impacts the poor and does not make America safer.
If you don't want to do the time, don't do the crime. Really? Have you ever committed a crime? You got people who are doing more drugs on college campuses, in yacht clubs, country clubs. We all know that's going on, but the SWAT team never shows up there. The SWAT team shows up in housing projects where you got poorer people doing fewer drugs, and those people go to prison.
The wealthiest zip code's crime index is less than average, while one of the poorest zip codes is over 5 times greater.
A million people are sitting in a jail cell tonight, and they haven't been found guilty of any crime.
Here, people are actually being held solely because they cannot afford to pay. That's the only reason.
This is cash bail.
$500, $1,000, $5,000. In communities where families are one check away from devastation, bail is devastation.
Most Americans believe that after you commit a crime and pay your debt to society, the punishment ends. You have the chance to rebuild your life and get a fresh start, but the reality is much harsher. We punish people with criminal records long after they've paid their debt to society, and we all suffer for it. Even simply being accused of a crime is just the beginning of perpetual punishment. A cycle of legalized discrimination, poverty, and reincarceration, a cycle kept in motion by 47,000 laws and regulations nationwide that restrict critical rights and opportunities. After contact with the criminal justice system, millions of Americans are denied employment and housing, denied college educations, excluded from public benefits, separated from their children, deported despite being legal residents, and deprived of the right to vote. These restrictions trap the poor and people of color in invisible cages that extend far beyond prison walls and criminal courts. Cages that lead to a lifetime of obstacles that undermine even the most earnest efforts at rehabilitation and redemption. Cages that send the message, you will never be a part of society again.
What about everyone else? There are thousands of other kids just like me who deserve this too. Why doesn't everyone get this? Why is a high-quality education only exclusive to the rich?
In ELA, Seneca at the top is above average, while Erie High at the bottom is nearly 30% below average. In mathematics, Seneca at the bottom is nearly 20% above average, while Erie High is almost 20% below average. The high school graduation rate for Erie High is over 14% below average, while the graduation rate for Seneca is almost 10% above average. In an anonymous interviewee explained how he thought Erie High wasn't made for academics, it was just a standard school for people who couldn't make it to the higher class.
I realized when they leave the classroom, it's a whole other world of what they're dealing with, their emotional and social needs, all of the stresses that they're coming with the next morning to school.
With 50% of the students in the U.S. now living at the poverty level, teachers are noticing that the students are not coming to school fully ready to learn. And our current education policies are just pushing to standardize education, standardized testing into privatized schools, and we're not at all looking at the effects of poverty.
For years, I tried desperately to cultivate in my kids a love of reading. I'd amassed a modest classroom library of books I'd accumulated from secondhand shops, thrift stores, attics, you know. But whenever I said those dreadful words, take out a book and read, you'd think I'd just declared war. It was torture. One day, after I'd heard about this website called Donors Choose, where classroom teachers create wish lists of items they need for their classroom, and anonymous donors fulfill them, I figured I'd go out on a limb and just make a wish list of the teenager's dream library. Over 200 brand new books were sent to my room, piece by piece. Every day, there were new deliveries, and my kids would exclaim with glee, "Oh, this feels like Christmas!" Then they'd say, "Miss Sumner, where did these books come from?" And then I'd reply, "Strangers from all over the country wanted you to have these." And then they'd say, almost suspiciously, "But they're brand new." To which I'd reply, "You deserve brand new books." The whole experience hit home for me when one of my girls, as she peeled open a crisp paperback, said, "Miss Sumner, you know, I figured you bought these books, because you teachers are always buying us stuff. But to know that a stranger, someone I don't even know, cares this much about me, it's pretty cool." Knowing that strangers will take care of you is a privilege my kids aren't afforded. Ever since the donation, there has been a steady stream of kids signing out books to take home and then returning them with the exclamation, "This one was good." Now, when I say take out a book and read, kids rush to my library.
Education determines access to college, jobs, and to the future. Without a good and equal education, families can be trapped in an endless cycle of poverty for generations. There are a number of ways you can help with poverty by donating things such as clothes, food, money, time, effort, and compassion. If your school is wealthier, suggest to them to adopt or help a lower income school. This can be done by going to adoptaclassroom.org. Here, you or your school can fund a teacher or school that is in need. Their mission is to prepare kids in need to end the cycle of poverty. You can donate to Youth Build, an organization that helps kids who dropped out of high school get their GED, build marketable job skills, develop leadership skills for their future, and help rebuild their own communities. To learn how to donate, go to the top right corner, click Menu, click Get Involved, scroll down, and it'll tell you how to donate. To specifically help in Erie, PA, you can donate to DonorsChoose.org. This helps specific classrooms all over the area. Simply scroll down and search Erie, PA. A number of schools come up that are in need of donations. If you are interested in donating your time, there is an organization called Serve Erie. Here they specifically focus on building relationships and serving throughout the community. They help clean and rebuild things within Erie County. To sign up, go to serveerie.com and click Register Now. Lastly, one of the simplest ways to help is to donate food to a local food pantry. There are a number of locations throughout Erie County.